What's rocking, guys? Welcome to episode 28 on my FC Utrecht career mode. So this is just a gigantic episode here. Of course, Manchester City at home. You'll see here in the table, we're just a point behind them and 2 points behind Schalke. Of course, 3 matches remaining, so a match against all the other teams in our group left. So it really is in Manchester's hands right now. They're in control. So a point even would be good enough in their case, but we definitely would like to say something about that and grab 3 points at home in such a big match. So especially, you can see our crowd is really riled up for this one. Want to see SC Utrecht surprise everyone and move on, grab 3 points here. But again, our strongest squad, I'd say, but Gomez instead is in the midfield for this matchup. So Boyman, Zardes, of course, Snyder, Ayew, Fuentes, Mings, Lewin, Douglas, Bakuna, and Bojanic. So one of our stronger lineups, I decided to give Gomez a chance. I really like how dynamic he is in the attack. He's more of a two-way player than Perry Kitchen. But I believe it's basically the same lineup they put out in the previous fixture. Dzeko, Nasri, Silva, Milner, Torre, Khedira, Kolarov, Company, Martinez, Zabaleta, and Joe Hart in goal. But of course they do have Vidal on the bench, so they have a very complete squad. We see the ball being played over the top to Schneider. Great work from him. He's going to cut the ball back to Cesar Fuentes. We'll see what he's going to do. Cut the ball back to Ayew now. He's going to play the ball to Boyman. He's going to take a bit of a crazy shot, and it's going to get put on goal out for a corner. At least we see some good movement to at least get a chance there going early on. Put some pressure on the back line of Manchester City. See a good ball put in here, however, and that thankfully goes over the bar and wide, but very good chance from them there, but just have to hold tight defensively. I do think, this is not, I'm not playing as a defensive I did in the previous picture. We see a great clearance here to Zardes. Good job from Ayew spotting him. We kind of might have been a blind clearance, but look at that spin move from Zardes. He's going to cut back. He's going to slow down and draw contact for a penalty in the box. That was a great job from Zardes there. Just kind of slowed down, forced a bit of a rash challenge from Kolarov, the way he just kind of used his pace to kind of then slow down. Then he lulled Kolarov into a challenge, of course expecting he would get the ball in that instance, but great work from Zardes using his pace to grab that penalty. But Schneider, of course, this man has played in so many big matches. This could be one of the biggest penalties here for us in his career for FC Utrecht. And look at this, he's going to slot this in, thankfully. Enough power just to get it by Joe Hart. Hart maybe could have done a little bit better as Schneider slides and grabs a gigantic goal. The crowd is going insane. You can see them celebrating, seeing just one of the biggest moments so far in this career mode. But a tremendous goal from Schneider, slotting that in nicely. But we still have a lot to deal with. This is Manchester City, guys. But you see some good play. Look at this, a great save from Bojanic, diving to his left to put that wide. Man, this youngster is not playing like a 16-year-old. He's playing like a 36-year-old. I don't know, but either way, ball's being put back in here. Thankfully, nothing comes out of it. So we're still pushing on. Some good build-up play, playing a bit of the long ball. What a pass from Javier Gomez right there. Schneider is out loose on the wing, uses his head. Great job from him. Look at this, holding off a defender, and he's going to slot that in the back of the net. What a goal from Wesley Schneider. That is, the goal from a man that just has been in these situations, doesn't, back down when the challenges are put upon him. He's putting the team on his back on this instance. He has all the pressure on him, being a big name Dutch player, being signed for big money to help this side out and maybe bring them to glory in Champions League. But we'll see now. Manchester City may have something to say about that. One of these, again, hopeful headers, and look at that finish from Khedira. That was actually not that bad, but just a good little hopeful cross, finds Khedira back post, and he's able to slot that away. So a bit of poor defending from Bakuna, losing his man at the back post. But now we are going to go with that, just basically 3 defenders and a holding midfielder, and of course the 2 wing backs. So it's a very very defensive formation, but this is what we have to do to try to hold the lead. You can see this pissed me off right here. Schneider trying to play the ball back. Mings just has to make a run to get into space, and look, this will be nearly huge disaster. Will we blow this one late as the ball's going to come back here? They do play the ball not as quickly as they expected Manchester to do when they have a good chance. So the ball's going to be played back over the top, and just wide is that header. So close. I mean, I would have been extremely angry if the game would have ended like that, because Mings just had to get into some space to get open. This time he has a good thing. Late in the matchup, he just runs. I blast the ball to the far corner, and we are able to come away with a gigantic victory here against Manchester City. Just what we needed. And you see Vidal, who came on late. Not actually exactly sure why he didn't start. It's very surprising not to see that man on the pitch, but either way, we will take it as we move on. Of course, with a huge victory, have to try to come back in the league, try to grab some victories here. So against Pexwell, we grab a goal here. Zulo comes on as a striker. It looks like I did play a backup squad, essentially, very mixed at the least, but and he grabs a goal, which is a bit surprising. Zulo, the left back, is able to get in there and grab a goal. But to round out the episode, guys, I'll be having one fixture in the league here against Ajax. A huge fixture because we're 4 points, behind them in the league table now. So we really need to buckle down. At least 8 points would be okay, but I'd love 3 points. Definitely don't want to lose to them because they did beat us earlier in the season as well. We've actually gotten a lot of our games against tougher opponents out of the way early, such as Ajax. So we could still push for a big run for the Eredivisie title, but it would be very difficult, if we drop points here against Ajax. But it's going to be a tough match. It's Ajax. They have a great squad. They have David Villa, still very good in the game, I have to say, but we again have our strongest squad out there. We're kind of going in and out with Gomez and pitching, of course, but Gomez is playing here now again. He definitely deserves it, but see, have a chance here. Fuentes out wide. He's going to put the ball back into Zardes. It's going to hit that right at the keeper, unfortunately. So getting a little bit started there. Fuentes catching the left back sleeping, I believe that was, and he's able to put in a good cross, but you'll see Ajax coming back here in the matchup down the wing. Going to cut the ball back here. Good play. Cut it back in. A good run. Just very good ball movement in some space. And just terrible defending. But that is going to be a goal there. Nice little ball in. And that's just an easy finish there. Not the best defending. We have to buckle down a lot defensively. David Villa still scoring goals. Playing for a Dutch power now. But it's a bit interesting to see. But Eredivisie definitely... They always bring in good players, it seems like, especially some of the teams like Ajax. They bring in a lot of older guys. They brought in Robbie Keane before, noticed in some other career modes I've seen as well. But again, we're moving on here, trying to come back down 1-0 in this matchup. But we have a bit of space. Going to play the ball back out wide to Bakuna, who's going to put the ball back in. Could not do too much with that, but just need to try to grab the goal again. Look at this shot from Gomez, though. What a finish from Javier Gomez. That is a gorgeous finish from him. Maybe a goal of the season candidate right there. We'll have to take a look at this again. Ball is going to be cut back. A bit of luck with that deflection. Look, it's going through the legs. Rattles off of the post and into the back of the net. Look at this replay again. That is great play from Gomez. Great job from him tying this thing up and bringing us back into this one. Definitely staking a claim for his starting spot in this roster, coming up with a goal like that. But moving on in this game, still 1-1. We have some room to come back, but Gomez goes down with an injury. It looks like very disappointing, man. I mean, that does not look very good. He scores a big goal against Ajax. Fortunately, gets clattered after that and is going to be taken off. And I almost restarted the match on accident, but again, that's just not the type of challenge you like to see on one of your, just best players right now. He's been performing very well, I have to say. But ball here to Fuentes, going to cut it back in the middle. A good counter attack. Oh, look at Villa. I took out Bionic, and look at this finish from David Villa. That was a big mistake on my part. But David Villa just puts that in the back of the net. Unfortunately, that was a big response from us with Gomez earlier. But David Villa takes advantage of Bojanic coming out. I do not know exactly why I did. I thought it was maybe a little bit closer to come out and stop that. But a quick counter. Ajax has hits on the quick counter a lot in this career mode. They are very good with that. And David Villa with a quality finish. I do not know why you would go down like that as a goalkeeper. You would probably want to get big in those situations. But either way, good job from Ajax. Unfortunately, we have to try to come back, grab a goal here. Let's see, some space out wide. He's going to play it to Zardes. It's a good chance. Uncle is just going to hit the post. That really should have been put in the back of the net, and that unfortunately is how the game would end. We cannot grab the game tying goal, could not grab the equalizer there. So very disappointing, very frustrating result from us. And look at that, Javier Gomez is out for 3 months. He was in such good form, and he has a broken ankle now. Very frustrating again to lose a player like that. So I think we are getting close to the transfer window. We may need to look at more depth again at center defensive mid, but going this episode coming up, you see now we are in second place with matches against Schalke and Copenhagen. So it's going to be a huge episode coming up, guys, in the Champions Cup. So stay tuned for that. Just would love to move on in the group stage, get out of the group stage in Champions League. But you can see not in the best position now in league, pretty well behind Ajax, unfortunately. So again, we're probably really going to be focused on the Champions League now. So we're out of the Dutch Cup and all that. I may have a bit of a run showcased in the league later on, but I am planning to play some PES on maybe a separate channel as well, so we'll see what goes there. So we're going to have Copenhagen coming up here in the next episode, then I'll sim that match against Heerenveen, then I'll have the final matchup of Champions League for us against Schalke, and I'll sim those other matches as well, I believe. So it's going to be a huge episode coming up, guys. Stay tuned. We'll find out our Champions League fate, so definitely tune in to the next episode, guys. But again, thanks for tuning in to this episode. I'll be signing out now, and I'll catch you guys later.